Do you want to know a topic that isn't talked about enough in hustle culture, and something that I personally think is being ruined by all these people who are telling you to work your finger to the bone, is taking breaks. I personally think that taking breaks is a necessary evil that everyone needs to take part of, especially if you actually want to achieve success or if you're in the business industry, if you have a business. And the reason for this being is because, especially if you're first starting, you're more than likely going to be working on the business and you're going to be working in the business. And the two biggest differences between these two are working on the business is you're basically the one who's coming up with the ideas. You're the brain of the business. You're the one who's coming up with ideas, systems. You're the one that it's kind of driving everything. You're the CEO. Working in the business is when you're actually doing the things that need to be done, like you're making the website, you're crafting the offers, you're doing the cold outreach, you're doing all this yip yap stuff, all the stuff that is necessary for you to grow a business. And once you have a team, obviously you don't need to do all that stuff because you have somebody doing it for you. But whenever you're first starting, you're going to be doing all this stuff. You're going to be going. You're going, hang on. Suki, don't drink that water, please. Fuck. Here, all right. We got to traverse this land of mud. Don't drink that, Suki. Fuck. Jeez, man. Brand new shoes as well. What a pain in the ass. Whenever you're first starting on your business, it's going to be more than likely that you don't have too much time to be ideating and to be the CEO and to be managing things, because there probably won't be too much to manage. But in your breaks and when you take the days off and when you give yourself time to, I guess, think and take a break, you're basically refreshing your mind and you're giving yourself time to really think about what needs to be done. And that's the time that you can actually take to see forward and see into the future and come up with a plan, or I guess a roadmap on where it is that you need to go and what it is that you need to do to attain that goal that you want to set up for yourself. So I don't know, hopefully somebody understands what I'm saying. Hiking while yapping is an interesting combination, but hopefully somebody understood that if you want to achieve something or you actually want to do some shit, that you're gonna have to take days off. And it's funny to me because even Alex Hormozi is someone who preaches that don't take days off or you work work hundreds of hours per week and all the shit that all the people in hustle culture say. It's like, work your finger to the bone. Yeah, sure, but you have to really think about it. Is working 100 hours per week really like something you can sustain? I don't think so. I don't know any successful founders that work 100 hours a week and sustain it. Don't get me wrong, going to be work weeks where you have to work a lot of fucking hours and you're gonna have to put a lot of fucking work in, and going to be busier weeks than others. That's just life. There are phases in life that, I mean, you can't really predict. Sometimes you can, but for the most part, you really can't. So with that being said, Suki, what do you see? Let me give you guys a little tour of where I'm at. There's a salt mine over there. Oh, I can't show you guys up there. I don't know what the fuck is up there. Some apartments. Yeah, you know, it's life on hiking in the middle of nowhere. But what the fuck was I saying? Yeah, just take breaks. If you're doing a competitive sprint, you're going to have to take a break afterwards. That's kind of what entrepreneurship is from what I've learned. It's more than anything a marathon made up of a bunch of sprints. Instead of going for a one long distance run, there are going to be times where you just need to go, and then you kind of release the foot off the brake and relax a little bit. But yeah, everything's phases. Ooh, what is that? Is it a lizard? But yeah, peep this. What type of feather do you guys think this is? There's maggots in it. And there's vultures up there, so I'm not exactly sure as to what the hell that shit is. But back to what I was yapping about. Your breaks need to be productive. You need to be actually doing something in your breaks. You can't just, at least from what I've noticed, you can't take the breaks and just brain rot and just scroll on TikTok and goon all day. Because those are extremely unproductive work days, and you're probably going to be coming back to your work extremely unproductive. You're going to be like, oh, why does my brain feel like mush? Probably because you spent the whole day yesterday watching porn. I don't know, don't do that shit. Actually do something with that work day. Something that I do is I watch a series on Netflix, which people will counter argue like, oh, shouldn't do that. But as long as I'm not just scrolling on TikTok the entire day, I'll go out with my family. More than anything, you can do whatever you want to do, as long as it's not making you that much dumber. Because I am culprit as well. It'd be hypocritical of me. I never go on TikTok, because I do go on TikTok from time to time, but I also don't go on TikTok for 3 hours at a time. So be productive with your work days and with your rest days. And something that I personally learned from Charlie Morgan that really made me think of life in a different perspective is, in order to achieve success, you just need to have more good days, bad days. And if you really kind of look at your life and you're doing the things that you should be doing, you're working day in, day out, and then at the end of the day, you're probably going to end up having more good days, bad ones, if you're doing what you need to be doing. But yeah, half the battle is actually figuring out what you need to do and working on the right things. But I'll probably make another video about that, around why having the right vehicle is the most important thing in business. But yeah, peace. Follow my main YouTube channel, links in the bio.